That's us. I'm a little bit previous, aren't I? I'm a few seconds early from the 8:45 start, but hey, isn't it a good sign? There we go. Yeah, it was about 20 seconds early. So what I'm going to do is, because this will be interesting. So in 3, 2, 1, boom. That is 8:45 in the morning. If you are watching this back, you've come back to this to watch, to row along at a different time, because of course, although it's live, it's still, all of the live rows are going to be saved up here anyway. I mean, all the previous ones are on the main RowAlong channel, but all the new ones are on this one. You get that. Anyway, if you want to just zip forwards, then past all of my preamble here for the next 15 minutes, then please do just advance. Well, now you'll have to go up to, you have to do skip forwards 15 minutes, zip back a little bit, get into the row. But yeah, so here we are. We are on the bleary-eyed, the RowAlong sunset what was this one again? Rise and Row, with the bleary-eyed RowAlong. I don't know why I'm a little bit kind of, I've been up since 7:30, but for some strange reason, I think because the sun's shining again after, I mean, all it's done is rain constantly. We had those like 3 weeks of glorious sunshine, loveliness, and then it just went and rained ever since. But it's lovely sunshine today, so I might get a chance. I've not even had a chance to mow my lawn for the past 3 weeks because it's always been raining, and I've got an electric lawnmower, so or battery-powered lawnmower, and I don't want it to go in the when I'm mowing the lawn in the rain. Sorry, I can't type and talk at the same time. So here we go. Did I get the notification saying that I'm live? Can't remember. Oh, there we go. Right. Hey, there's me. Hey, Mom, I'm on TV. Right. Okay. And there are 9 other people. All is Tech Toby. Good morning, Vietnam. I was saying welcome when I got distracted by what I called this. So yeah, so welcome to the Rise and Row with RowAlong. There we go. That's better, isn't it? I remembered it. So a little bit of housekeeping. You will see up in the top corner, somewhere up there, you will see there's a little, there's something new on the screen. And that is because, and I'm going to talk about this closer to when we're rowing, so that, because obviously there's only, 12 people, watching right now, so you might be, good morning, gents. You might be kind of saying, what's that on the top corner? That is the Smart Row app. Okay, so that's running on, I'll pick it up, hope it doesn't break, on my phone, because I do, look at this, isn't it exciting? Isn't television, isn't streaming exciting? So, in fact, I might as well actually, I'll set this to 30, because I'm going to do this at the same time. What I'm going to do today, Peter, there's a new name, Negedevich? Peter Negedevich, or would that be a G or a J? Anyway, hello, your first RowAlong live row. Welcome to the channel. Or welcome to this one. Remember, I can say this a couple of times, but remember, this RowAlong live channel is just for my live streams. You get the RowAlong main channel for my pre-recorded rows and all my waffle. Although, to be fair, these are all a bit waffle too. Smart Row, yay, it's Rianne, hello, good morning. So, I was in the middle of showing off your app. Look, So, the plan today, and I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to talk about this a couple of times, is I have the Smart Row handle is on the Concept 2, newly attached, running, what's this, version 7.04, in case you just want to confirm, Rianne, that that's the right one I'm supposed to be using. Anyway, so Smart Row is going to connect to the app, and then the app is on screen. As far as EXA is concerned, I'm going to be connecting the Concept 2's monitor, the PM5, to EXA. Why is he being so convoluted this morning? Because I want to show off that basically the Smart Row handle is what you'd hope for. Okay, it's everything you would hope for in terms of accuracy and things. So I'm going to row, what you're going to see on the EXA app is going to be the data from Concept 2, but then you're going to be able to look up at the Smart Row app and go, crikey, look, that's 205 from the Concept 2, and the Smart Row handle's also 205. How does that work? Frankly, magic. Okay, that's all you need to know. It's magic. They've waved the magic wand at it, and somehow this handle is accurate to a point of being completely comparable to the Concept 2. There are what you might notice is at the very start, there's kind of like, there's differences, but it does settle down into being basically the same thing. And then so, because I've set the Smart Row app to 30 minutes, and because X is going to be running for 30 minutes, what we'll then be able to do is compare the distance rowed for both. I think X are rounds, but I suppose my monitor will say. Anyway, you get what I mean. That's what today's plan is. Right, anyway, that was a bit of a rant. Quick, I've got time. So I need to set up the connections first. Get that right, but I'm just going to say hello to TT first. Hi there, just watching today. Oh, okay. Just sitting with a cup of coffee, listening to John's chat. I am also, just quickly before I start setting up machines, my plan for today's row, and by the way, with 10 minutes to go, if you want to do some light rowing, just move up and down in order to get your body moving, please do. I might start doing that myself. No, I can't, because that'll trigger the smart row. Anyway, I am going to do today, especially because we're doing this on this, with the smart row stuff, and if I just did the whole thing at 30 minutes at a low intensity, that'd get pretty dull, and you'd be like, yeah, but what about the higher intensity? So today's plan, I'm going to do 4 minutes at 20 strokes a minute. Oh, look, there's Andrew Fielden popping up. What are you asking? I'm telling you, Andrew, good grief. So 4 minutes, 20 strokes a minute, low intensity, and then 3 minutes, 24 strokes a minute, a little bit faster, probably about 5 or 6 seconds faster, and then 2 minutes, round about 28 strokes a minute, and then 1 minute at round about 30 strokes a minute faster, okay? So that's the point, is I'm going to take it up through that. 4, 3, 2, 1 magically makes 10 minutes. We do that 3 times, our day's done. Wah! And it should zip by because of that, all right? Because because it's that weird thing with the 4 minute kind of, oh, I can settle down. It goes really, really quickly because you're like, oh, I don't want to start going fast again. And then you get to the other kind of the faster bits, they come up so quick that this half an hour should be over really, really quick. All right, so that's my plan. You, of course, don't have to do how I'm doing it today. Andrew Fielden says, spicy. Hey. Yeah, because I'm using my phone for Smart Row today, I can't. So if you're going to message, keep them short and snappy, because otherwise I won't be able to read your message on my watch. Yeah, so that's the plan, and hopefully it'll show off the kind of what's happening with the comparison between Smart Row and Concept 2, because I think this is the first time that I've done it this way. I've done a test this morning just to be sure that it all is exactly the same, and it was the same 205 on Smart Row and 205 on the monitor, so I'm pretty confident this is going to work. I'm confident it was going to work anyway, but you know that way sometimes the best of plans. So I'm going to connect my Concept 2's PM5, not the Averon bike, which disappointingly doesn't actually connect, although I can select the Averon bike, it doesn't actually connect to Exer, so I can't actually go on my bike and cycling on Exer, which is a bit of a shame. Averon bike is a really nice bike to use though, so it would be quite good, but it's got its own built-in monitor and things anyway, so don't really need to do that. Right, okay, and I'm going to go with rower data. Obviously, there's no point me introducing the extra split thing here, because then that would really muddy the waters. I've been charging. Oh, my mother-in-law has just done Wordle in 3. Oh, well done, Margaret. Well done. I think I did Wordle in 4 today. Yesterday I was a 3, but today is a 4. Why does my watch say it's 0941? That's weird. Or is that like a... Not my watch, my phone. You can't see it because I've cropped it off, but the time on my phone is saying 0941 instead of 0841, and it's not even that. It's 0853. Why is the time gone completely wrong on my? Oh, whatever. Let's not worry about that. The simplest thing to do is just to go. As long as everything works, it's fine. So let me just start. Well done, math. You did well with your Wordle. Row indoor, and what do I go for? Do I go for my Garmin, the Epics, or do I go for my MyZone? Well, as being the MyZone's just disappeared, that makes that decision, doesn't it? Yeah, right. So hopefully, and delay-wise, we are quite substantial, I think. I think we're still at 15-second delay between what you're seeing on YouTube and what I'm going to be seeing on Exer. So if you are rowing on the Exer app at the same time as watching the live stream, please look at your app for the start rather than YouTube, because you'll be 15 seconds late otherwise, and you'll be like, where's everybody gone? Right, okay. There you go, and it's me. This week I'm not going. God. Oh, I was about to say this week I'd actually joined it, but I hadn't. Okay. Now the main thing that I have to do once we're all in this, Helen Hogan, Andrew Fielden, anyone else that as we all fan out. Now, yeah, cool. So, and this is also gonna, hang on, yeah. This should also, I just want to make sure it's not going to be obscured by the top, the way I've put, oh no, it's fine, cool. So all you're not seeing from the Exa timer thing is like the total time, but that's fine. Or the total time to go. So I'm not obscuring anything on screen by having the Smart Row app at the top. So the thing that my heart rate is not 115, Mr. Garmin. Stop it. Don't know why it doesn't believe me when I'm sitting here. So I have Smart Row set to a 30-minute row. If I don't actually hit start, nothing will happen. I am not broadcasting, I've just got, this is for my own brain. I am not broadcasting Smart Row to Exa, so I don't have to click anything else. If I go to settings, is it connected? It is, even though there's no light showing, but it still says it's connected. So I can go back to start, 30 minutes, and I'm going to click start, and hopefully, yes. So it sits there, the Smart Row app now sits there waiting for me to start, and it won't start counting until I start rowing. Where are we then? Oops. All right, what am I doing? So everybody check your foot plates. Am I all right here? I think I'm okay here. I could possibly go up one hole higher, but I'm not gonna. I am in my barefoot shoes again. Oh, excuse me, I had an itchy nose. I'm in my barefoot shoes again, which means that I am rowing with one hole showing. So, I mean, listen, I'm in barefoot shoes, which have like no back to the heel, okay? I'm a size 10, and I'm on, well, what would you call it, like setting 5, with only one hole showing at the top. So what I tend to say why am I alone in Examap at the moment? Oh, I don't know. Why are you? Hoagie and Hoagie. Morning, folks. Been too long. Oh. I don't know why you're on your own, to be honest. It could be your connection to the server thing. I don't know. You could try cycling out and coming back into it again. Make sure your connection's, but then you wouldn't even get it started if you didn't have a connection. Well, that's confusing. What was I saying? Yeah, so size 10 feet, and I've got one hole showing. And what I tend to tell people when I'm setting up the machine before morning rows and things, or before my pre-recorded rows, is lower is better, okay? Because it helps with that flexibility into the front. So seriously, look at the foot straps right now, and if you can see that the strap is covering like the high part, the bridge, yeah, of your foot, then lower them down the foot plates, because it really does make such a difference when it comes to your comfort, your flexibility, your compression into the front of the machine. If you've got your feet a little bit lower, it helps you get into that position at the front of the machine comfortably, okay, where you're not going to get in. Because if you're too high, you can kind of get stuck here, because literally nothing moves, and then in order to try and get there, you have to, because you can see my back's moving nowhere, by doing this right now, okay? So I'm kind of basically staying in exactly the same position, but in order to get my shins up, I'm rolling my posture back, okay? And that helps my shins get into that vertical position, because how long have I got for this rant? 2 minutes, okay. In fact, I can have a little swig of ambition first. Oh, sorry, that's a big swig. Heart rate goes up to 145. Tobias, good morning. Hang on, been High Rocks running training, so hoping to go for a run after this. Wow, fantastic. I got tickets for London XL doubles with Martin. Anyway, where was I? I'll talk about that in a sec. So if I sit here, okay, so I'm in shins vertical, right? So properly, kind of ish, posture, and I'm kind of sliding into the front. I can sit here, right? Nowhere near vertical, but just by collapsing my posture, right, and rolling back, I can get into that shins vertical position. But this is no good, because I'm not getting the compression, I'm not getting that tilt over my hips. See the difference from being here, shins vertical, okay, look how far away I am from the front of the machine. If I then sit up, okay, better posture, heels come back down, and I'm able to then get, so you see the difference that I can get lengthwise and things, and then I can actually add that backswing. Where are we? 45 seconds ago, and I can add that backswing as well. So, Craig, where are we? Yeah, and this is because of foot plates. If your foot plates are too high, that can all cause all that kind of problem. All right, that's all I'm saying. So, we are going to get started in around about 30 seconds time. Remember, there's a 15-second delay between YouTube and Exa. I am going to do this 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, progressively through this row, okay? So a little bit faster each time. If you want to follow me, please do. Otherwise, row it exactly how you want to row it, all right? And then we're going to do the whole comparison thing between Smart Row and Concept 2 as we go. So we are going to get going in 10, 9, 8, I'm going to have to launch for the front, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So, what to look out for is that the first few strokes may be a little bit different. I'm just trying to quickly eyeball what's going on here. So, I think they're settled down. 208 pace in Concept 2. Yep, same on the Smart Row. So if you're able to keep an eye on both data points on screen, you can see that Smart Row and Concept 2 are pretty much reading the same thing. There may be like a rounding thing where it might be just enough of a difference with how the two of them round up that one might say 206 while the other one says 207. But they are pretty much spot on. Isn't that just magical? Because remember, if you don't know about this, right? I'll quickly talk about it for this first 4 minutes while we're warming up. The Smart Row handle is a force meter. So everything is calculated within the handle. It's got nothing to do with the machine, the Concept 2. So the chain attaches to it, and so it knows the amount of tension as you pull the handle against the chain. So it knows that force. But then it also knows stroke rate, possibly because of an accelerometer, but more likely because of the way it also calculates stroke length. And that is what I still think is such a fascinating, and it's one of those ideas that you think, yeah, that's quite obvious, but it took a genius to come up with it. And that is that it counts the vibrations of the chain going over the sprocket. So it knows when it goes brrrr, that means like 1 meter 20 centimeters is the stroke length. I just think that is fascinating, that that's how they do it. And so I got 1 minute more at this 20 strokes a minute before we take it up a bit. Anyway, so this is why any rowing machine that uses a chain, the Smart Row handle will work with them. There is a thing about the gauge of the chain. So there's two, like with the RP3, there's two different versions. The Model T, and I think it's the S for the other one. It doesn't, the S uses a different size of chain, so it doesn't work as well on that. But the Model T, which is the one that I've got, it works perfectly. Or it would if I could fix it. Anyway, right. 2 more strokes, and I'm going to take it up to 24 strokes a minute. You ready? So, in order to get stroke rate up, just push a little harder with your legs. So come into the front, push harder. That gives you a slightly faster drive speed, and if you couple that with a slightly faster, like very slightly faster recovery, that is enough to take the rate up. Because remember, it's only half a second faster per stroke. And pace wise, I've gone from right about what, 207, 208 to 203. And I'm not thinking pace here. All I'm thinking is stroke rate. And just checking in, concept 2 saying 202. And Smart Row is saying 202. So at a slightly higher rate, we're still hitting accurate numbers. Might be a few meters ahead on Smart Row, but let's see how everything finishes at the end of the row. Okay, one more minute here at, oh, is that right? Yeah, one more minute here at 24. It does get a little bit spicy, this row. So although the ideal is that when we go back to 20 strokes a minute, you return to whatever pace you're rowing at last time. You may need the first 10 strokes or so to recover, but that's still to come. 3 more strokes and we're up to around about 28 strokes a minute. Let's go. Push. Harder. Bit faster, John. That's better. And this is kind of where it starts to feel high intensity for me anyway. 1:55 pace on concept 2, 1:56. Oh, there we go. 1:56 on the PM5 as well, so it does catch itself up. I mean, it could just be my eyes missing the changeover. Don't worry, once I get the final minute done on this, I'll stop going on about the two of them. And then we'll wait until the end for the final tally. You can tell I'm finding this tough because of my speech pattern. Much less chat from John. Okay, 15 seconds time, and then take rate up to 30 or higher for 1 minute. You ready? Let's go. Just push harder with the legs. And if you can't get stroke rates high,
Remember, handle control is important. Get the handle away from you quickly but smoothly. Don't hold it against your chest. 10 seconds. Last one. Oh, right. Just a sec. Take a bit of time to settle back in to the next set. Catch your breath. Let your body take care of itself here. You can see that I'm down at 210-ish. As I my body recovers from that first set. Right. And then return to around about 208 again. It occurred to me this morning just how incredible technology has become. And I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about this. The live streaming. The fact that I am filming this on a green screen with all these elements going on. You've got me keyed out of the green screen. Down at the bottom, you've got the gorgeous looking extra app in the background and the overlay of the SmartRow app in the top right corner. Because around about, say 20 years ago, I used to edit a news program. We'd go out on location, film it on green screen, and then I would spend the rest of the day editing it together for the green screen, adding in all of the overlays and things, and it was just such a complicated process. We needed a piece of kit that cost about £20,000 to eventually do the green screen key in real time. Whereas now, it's a free piece of software running on my MacBook. Just the development is huge. I think it's easy right now for everyone to pin everything on AI, but don't discount just general progress. General progress. Right, 3 more strokes, and we're there already. Taking it up to 24. After this one, you ready? Push, push. Get that rhythm. Try and think away and triggering forwards tilt before you bend your knees. Now I've a soft bend. I tend to finish, then relax. And they bend, but then that becomes a bad habit. Bending before is tilting forwards. And what that really does is it ruins efficiency in terms of energy on the recovery. But what's the phrase? Many mickle make a mackle. If you can save any power leak, build up. And so over waste a few joules every stroke, which today, I don't know, about 3 strokes. Yeah. One more. So why I like to think about handle away, tilt, then knees. You don't have to worry about inertia causing a problem on a boat, so that's okay. But energy expenditure should still be top of the class here. This, where we are going full bore. 15 seconds time. To run about 8. Here we go. Was that just for this? It's a shame it's a lot. And RowAlong training workouts up here on EXA in a more official capacity. Obviously, you can load up the YouTube video and then just do a just row on EXA. I think it'd be nice to do the actual session on here with guidance. Maybe one day when I have time to program it. That's the thing. It all comes back to time. Because I don't make that much money from RowAlong, so I have to prioritize the day job. Okay. 2 more strokes. And then we're up fast. You ready? Let's go. Push. Hard. Keep straight. Come on. tilt, push. Three, two, one. I'm gonna have a little bit. This is definitely one where king thing is starting its toll when it comes to just catch my back end of that last one. So I either row the next 10 minutes in silence, or I took those 30 seconds as a active recovery, ready to go again. So who have we got on next? Me and Andrew, and there was somebody sneaking up the outside just then. Looked like a boat in French flag colours, but I may be wrong. But again, if you're paying attention, notice how now that pace and control have returned to my stroke, the force curve is looking a bit better. It's less front loaded, more of a curve, although I'm concentrating so much on looking at it, I keep messing it up. But it's what you're looking for, is that steep rise at the front as you power in, and then if you can keep the top of the curve as high as possible for as long as possible, that shows the transition of power from legs to back is working. And then your arms then kind of control how that curve comes to a finish. So if you pull early and you've got no arms left at the back of the stroke, you'll find it's quite a sharp, sudden drop. I'm not saying my curve is perfect, but I still have some power at the back of the stroke because I'm not pulling from the front. I'm possibly swinging my back a little too soon, but these are all things I am trying to work on right now. Whew. Okay, one more stroke, then we're back up to 24 for the last time. So one of the, I love making these live rows and the standalone RowAlong workouts, but one of the downsides is that most of the rowing I do making videos for you. Which means I'm not actually concentrating on my own rowing and my own technique. Possibly when I'm waffling on about technique, I start to think about my own, but because I'm not totally focused, gremlins pop in, especially that early leg bend. Someone got in touch on one of the current time for change workouts, the short ones that I'm uploading right now, and they pointed out my knees are breaking again before my back tilts. And so what I'm saying is always take time to address how you're rowing, because gremlins find a way to work in to your stroke, whether that's over compressing into the front or opening your back too soon or pulling from the front, or even just missing the connection between feet and hands. You want the handle to bite into the machine at exactly the same time you push your feet into the machine. Whew. All right, 15 seconds. And then we're up to around about 28. One more stroke. Here we go. Push the legs for a faster drive, and then let the handle release. Just relax. Let it come out at the same pace that you pulled it in at without pausing. I know you on the WaterRowers, Helen, might do drills where you do hold the handle into your chest in order to let the boat glide underneath you. One more minute of these, but on a rowing machine, all that happens is you are wasting time at the back and then have to race forwards if you want to keep a high stroke rate, or because you're wasting time at the back, you just can't get to the front quick enough. 15 to go. 10. 5. And then we're up to fast. You ready? Let's go. I may not talk much here. Keep the effort up. We're almost done. 30 to go. $15. Three, two, one. Oh, right. Oh. Oh. Just a sec. So, Concept 2 monitor said 7,385 as I hit 30. But because I set the monitor to just row like an idiot, it then rolled up to 7,408. So I don't know the exact distance. Exer says 7.38. SmartRow says 7,395. So possibly there's like a 10 meter difference between SmartRow and the Concept 2, possibly. And which, to be fair, listen, so the SmartRow handle is a force meter. It knows your stroke rate and it knows your stroke length. And basically, if you use those maths, that's kind of the most accurate way that you can do this, okay? I'm not talking like throwing shade at Concept 2, but remember, they use an algorithm based on how quickly the flywheel slows down to know what's going on, to know drag factor, all that kind of stuff, in the power that goes in. So they're using algorithms on top of algorithms in order to calculate your pace. SmartRow handle is a force meter, knows stroke rate, knows your length. So basically, if it knows you're putting in 1,000 newtons for however long, I don't know what the numbers are, it is the most accurate way. But the truth is that Concept 2 is the God machine, okay? That everybody races on, that everybody loves, and that everything will be compared to a Concept 2. So it doesn't matter that the SmartRow handle is actually more accurate than the Concept 2. What kind of ultimately matters is that when everybody sits down to race on a Concept 2, that they're all the same. But at the same time, I still think 10 meters difference is just astounding, okay? My drag factor is set at 135 in case you care. I suppose I could always do this at different drag factors over time. I need to make a standalone video, to be honest, about the SmartRow handle and going through all this stuff, so maybe that's when I'll do it then. So I will go back to the comments. James Ray, I'll say hello to you first because it was, of course, your advice that has led to the RowAlong Live YouTube channel rather than embedding all this stuff within my main RowAlong channel. There's pros and cons, but I think you're right in that there's more pros when it comes to having this channel. If only for the fact you go to it and they're all there for you, you don't have to hunt for them. Whereas when they're on the RowAlong channel, they are kind of buried. You have to go to a tab and kind of find them that way. So there's that. There's also, like you were suggesting, that possibly, because these only really get about 400 views, it does drag down the average viewership of the RowAlong channel as a whole. And I've kind of noticed with the recent ones that I've uploaded, they're all up in the kind of like, one of them's got like 2,200 in like the first few days. I never get that kind of, because there isn't, I mean, yeah. So thank you, James, is all I'm saying. James again says, I've dropped drag factor a bit. Ooh. So you don't shorten stroke length during the quick stuff. Now are you shortening it finishing early, or is it about not being able to slide into the front? Because it shouldn't really matter where your drag factor is. I mean, hang on, I'll go back in the straps and in fact, you'll see this on screen, won't you? I hit stop. So my drag factor, like I say, is down at like 140 right now. Full strokes into the front, okay, blah, blah, blah. If I stick it right down at the bottom, well, that was a mistake, so I'm gonna have to unstrap. Obviously, I'm getting full strokes, but, woof, you can hear the fan, hear the air. But if I was to sprint up at 10, I can still hit 38 strokes a minute with it up at 10. It's that push from the front that I'm now fighting against all that extra air. But that's where it comes from, the leg push, where you need the power from your legs to overcome that. And as it was, I could see my arms were bending. All right, anyway, you're saying you're finishing early. So after all that, I mean, possibly you're not though. It may be that you feel like like it is a technique thing where you're coming in and it's like you're starting to slide as you pull the handle in. I see that a lot, where people will get into the back and then they'll do this. So they're already moving forwards as they're pulling the handle in. I'm not saying that's you because I haven't seen you, but make sure that's not what you're doing. You still come into that and then let the handle away be what the guide is for your stroke rate. Who else is saying hello? Sanuka, hey, good to hear from you. Oh, you tend to be the first person to comment and stuff on the videos I'm uploading right now. Tobias, oh, good morning together, he's always said hello. Extra seems to truncate numbers while stroke rate rounds mathematically. Oh, sorry, smart row, not stroke rate. So it appears to me in respect to stroke rate. I think it's a display thing, it's an on-screen. I don't think it's actually truncating, I think it's just what it's showing you. Like Smart Row is still only showing me, like, well, everything does. Like Concept 2 shows me as like 155, say, even though I'm rowing at like 155.3. Same with Smart Row, same with how Exa shows it. So, like I say, I still think the fact that there's only 10 meters difference between everything that's going on here is just, I think Smart Row have really banged us on the head. And I think, I mean, so I still, the one thing I still kind of, I'm unsure about, and the Smart Row people will be across this anyway, is whether people with the Concept 2 would ever use this, okay? Because the point of it is that it opens up your machine to connect to a computer. So say you've got an old Model B with a PM3 monitor, okay? And you want to go on Exa, okay? You could buy the Smart Row handle and that will then take care of it all for you. You'll be able to connect to Exa. But it's a Concept 2. And sorry, Rianne, because this makes it sound like I'm telling people not to buy your handle. But if you've got a Concept 2 with a PM3, just buy a PM5 if that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for that online racing and connecting to Exa and things, then that's you stay within that ecosystem. The Smart Row handle isn't, I wouldn't say that for the Concept 2 users that that's the ultimate way to do it. I think the Smart Row handle, by the time you roll in things like being able to control Netflix and stuff, that's when it then gives you a little bit more. That if you are the kind of person that rows at home and you don't really care about connecting to apps and things, but you do watch movies, you watch Netflix or you listen to music and all that kind of stuff, and you want a way to control it, then 100% the Smart Row handle is a great thing to get, because then you can control all your multimedia things. So it depends on what you're wanting from that point of view. But, and here's kind of like the butt part. No, that's the butt part. If you have, like I say, like an RP3, or even like they'll connect to Exa and stuff, so maybe not as much, but you have a non-Concept 2 or whatever. Like basically, what I'm saying is there's a whole bunch of machines out there right now. There's this one is a Merach or something that they keep on putting ridiculous adverts on Facebook or whatever. People who just frankly are like who can't row. Ironically, they then got in touch with me and asked if I could review their machines. So let's see if that one comes off. But anyway, there's all these kind of Concept 2 knockoffs that are out there. And I think for machines like that, then Smart Row, the handle is absolutely perfect way for you to connect online if their monitors don't connect online. Oh, Andrew's talking to me. What are you saying? Oh, you sent a photo. Okay. I'll check that afterwards, Andrew, sorry. Yeah, or things like the Skill Row from Technogym. Is it Technogym? Yeah, I'm not a fan of that machine. But yeah, so this handle it has the perfect way to Exa Shark Attack Invisible Bug. Ooh, hang on, we're gonna have to look at this now, aren't we? Hang on, let me save this. You know what I'm saying about it. So the Smart Row handle is there. It's going to unify, or it's there to unify, because it does say on it it's a universal force, a way to kind of unify everyone together. And I really think it is. I think it's. I mean, anything I've just said just then that makes it sound like I'm in any way negative about it, I'm not. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Hang on, where are we?
Where? I'm trying to see where's the shark? Can't see it from your photo, Andrew. Unless, is it because you've disappeared? Have you been eaten? Is that what it is? Oh no. Oh no, what's that one? Is that, all right, something's, so, well, let's leave that one up so we can we can see. Anyway, right, sorry. I'm just in a text chat with Andrew now rather than actually talking to you guys. So thank you so much for taking part in this one. It's a great way to, I mean, listen, if you rode that workout like the way I did, is it 9:40 already? Have I been rambling on for 10 minutes? If you did it the way I did it with the 4-3-2-1 thing, it's just such an incredible workout. And the great thing is that it's scalable. So, I mean, you saw like the state I was in by the end of that. If I'd have put on another 10 minutes onto that, another round of it, I'd be completely destroyed. And so you can do it that way. You can go 4-3-2-1 and you can kind of keep those paces, or you can knock a couple of seconds off it. If you want to go up to like an hour long, you can go 4-3-2-1 like 6 times. Just take a couple of seconds off each time, or not each time, but take a couple of seconds off your start pace. So I was like 2:07 starting there. So if I started at 2:09, I'd have easily be able to go up for an hour there. But because I was going faster, I could, like that half hour just pretty much did me in. So it's a very scalable workout. If ever you're like, I just can't be bothered, what am I going to do today? Then the 4-3-2-1 is a great way to do it. We are in Avatar land. Anyway, right. Oh, hang on, Hokey Pokey's right. We'll give Hokey Pokey, we'll give Helen the last say, okay? So let everybody hope that this is going to be genius, all right? Fab start to the morning. Thanks, John and rowing friends. Bit odd, but my start time kicked off almost 5 minutes before you. Ooh, not sure what that was about. Now heading out in the sunshine for my run. Good luck with your run, Helen. I hope it's a good one. Make sure, and yeah, if it's going to be a low intensity one, keep it low. If you're going to do sprints, then do sprints. It's always interesting. I think like tempo running for the high rock stuff is probably, if you're getting your base fitness from your rowing, then possibly like the running tempo, depends. You know where you are for your high rock stuff. So I'm doing, just to catch you up, just in case you're in the similar places, I'm doing Birmingham Pro doubles, and then I'm off to Toronto first, Birmingham Pro doubles, and then Excel, I'm doing male doubles on the Sunday morning. Just in case you're at any of them, I'll get a chance to say hello. Right, oh yeah, cool, I'm done. Everybody's got better things to do with their day than listen to me. So go have something to eat, something to drink, have a shower, tell someone you love them. That's the most important part. And have a fantastic week ahead. Remember, next week we are 5 o'clock in the evening for the sunset row with RowAlong, and then we take, I think it's 2 weeks, and then take break. And then we kind of come back mid-July. I hope that's okay with you. So remember, check out the RowAlong live channel always for the links. I will post next week's one later on today, so you can bookmark it, all that kind of stuff. Check the main RowAlong channel for the latest videos that I'm uploading there and all my normal technique and review chat stuff. I'm starting to put more stuff back up there again after taking a break for a few months. But yeah, and that's it. So have a fantastic Sunday. Have an amazing week, whatever you're doing. If you are out in the sun, make sure and put on some kind of sun cream, very important. And until the next time, please look after yourselves. Row well, be well. Bye-bye.